Hey guys, TheAirsoftTech here and welcome back. So I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving and Christmas this year. I've not been posting as much the past month and a half mainly because my birthday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas all occur within 2 months, and I get pretty busy with work and family, but now we're back on our regular schedule. So today in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion on the top 3 best airsoft gun manufacturers for upgrading. Now, of course, this is based upon my experience, and my experience is forming my opinion here, which is going to be in this video. So if you guys disagree with me, totally fine, obviously. Tell me down below, and I want to know what you guys think is different from my opinion here. Now, these 3 airsoft gun manufacturers are listed in no particular order. Really, they're all good at their own thing, so it depends on what you want. But in this category, I consider them the best. The first one we'll be starting off with today is VFC, or Vega Force Company. VFC has been in the airsoft game for a pretty long time now, even since before I was in airsoft about 10 years ago. So they've been in the game for quite some time. It's given them plenty of time to basically learn how to make a highly competitive airsoft gun for the market, that is. So they're pretty well balanced. Their internals and externals are of pretty good quality. I only say pretty good because I feel like their externals aren't the greatest compared to some other guns out there, but that's not to say that they're not pretty darn good. Now, internally, they've made a lot of improvements over the years. It used to be that VFC came with some pretty cheap plastic parts, the clear white, and then it was the clear blue tappet plates and piston bodies, and also their motors were pretty weak, their wiring was pretty thin, their gears were kind of soft, but again, since then they've made a lot of improvements. Their tappet plate and piston body are now a lot more durable material. They don't break really ever anymore, especially if you tune them appropriately. Their motors, most of them I believe, if not all of them, are neodymium now out of the box, so that's super cool. And also out of the box, VFC guns come with a MOSFET built into the gun. So they're making improvements where they need to, and they're a really great gun for upgrading. They also have a little bit of variety. They mainly make STANAG mag compatible guns, so mostly M4s, M16s, 416s, stuff like that. But they also make some MP5s that are of very high quality. So if you're in the market for something like that, think about VFC. The next gun manufacturer we'll be talking about is GMP. Now, GMP has been in the airsoft game for just as long a time as VFC, if not even a little longer. GMP makes mostly M4s. I actually can't think of many things they make outside of M4s. I think they made an SR25. Yeah, they did make an SR25 at some point. And they also might have made a couple AKs at one point, but I'm pretty sure those have all been discontinued. Regardless, GMP is a very high quality airsoft gun manufacturer, specifically when it comes to externals. Now, this is my opinion, but most people I know will say that GMP externals are a little bit better, if not significantly better than VFC externals. Now, that's not to say you're not going to have some specification issues here and there, but by and large, GMP guns have a lot better externals. Now, again, that's my opinion. They make mostly M4s, like I said, so there's not much variety. Now, internally is where they're kind of a little bit different. They make some really good parts, but then as a whole, they kind of don't come to make a very high-performing gun out of the box, in my opinion, again. They make some high-quality bearings, some of the best in the market in terms of out of the box. Coming into a manufactured airsoft gun, they have some of the best bearings, like I said. A lot of other things, their gearbox shells are extraordinarily tough. They're almost never ever going to break. Their hop-up chambers are made out of the same material. They're pretty high quality as well, so I really like using GMP hop-up chambers when I get the chance in those kind of builds. It's something that I don't replace. Other than that, GMP doesn't have a ton to offer, in my opinion. Their gears are and have always been soft. To my knowledge, GMP does not currently make any of their airsoft guns out of the box with MOSFETs, so they definitely lose in that category, but they absolutely win in the super high quality external parts that they come with. So if you're in the market for something like that, you want a super high quality M4 base gun, and you're pretty much going to be gutting everything on the inside, consider GMP. Now, I don't think anybody is going to disagree with this one, LCT. LCT is one of the best airsoft gun manufacturers, especially when it comes down to AKs and other Eastern European style airsoft guns. They're honestly just excellent AKs. I mean, the quality of feel on those airsoft guns is just incredible. I really like the real wood stained models that they make, but then they're also really nice and black tactical models are also super duper cool. Really, there's not much to say here. LCT just makes phenomenal AKs externally, and internally they're also just absolute tanks. A lot of LCT guns do come with neodymium motors. But other than that, I'm not really sure about across the board what all they come with. I just know that they're tanks on the outside and the inside, and they make mostly AKs and Eastern European style guns. Now they also make a couple of HK models like a G3 and HK33, I believe, and a couple of things like that. They also might make a couple of the Type style guns like Type 89 or Type 99 or something like that. They make some bullpup guns, so if you're into something exotic, something a little bit different, or just perhaps something traditional AK, look at LCT because they will definitely take care of you. So I do have a couple honorable mentions here, and if I didn't mention these couple manufacturers, I feel like I'd get some pushback in the comments, so I'm just going to go ahead and mention them here, and then we'll talk about why I didn't include them in the first list. The first honorable mention is Crytek. Now, Crytek makes some awesome out-of-the-box performing guns, but this list was specifically about guns that are top tier and also ripe for upgrading as a tech. So Crytek guns, I didn't include them on this list for that reason, and then in addition, their externals just aren't as good as the other three brands that made it on the list. But Crytek does do something that no other brand does, and that is make the Crytek Crisp Vector. So in that category, they win hands down because they're the only ones competing. But in addition to that, this gun is actually also phenomenal, and I think a lot of people know that. So it's not like they hold the copyright and just make a terrible copy. They hold the copyright, or at least have rights to use the trades for this gun, and they make it phenomenally well. But other than that, their guns are great. They're just not as good as the other three brands mentioned before. The next gun manufacturer in the honorable mentions category is ASG. Now, ASG, again, it's super cool, but they don't make a lot of their guns just aren't as good as LCT, VFC, and GMP. But they do certainly make a couple of guns really well. First of all, the Bren, that gun is super cool. I've watched a lot of videos on it. I've got to hold one. I really, really want to own one, but they're quite expensive because, well, they're also really well made and the externals are just awesome. So the Bren is super cool. The CZ Scorpion is also really cool. Nobody else really makes these guns, so ASG wins in those categories. But by and large, as a whole company, they're just not making the best guns, especially compared to LCT, GMP, and VFC. The third and final honorable mention is G&G. Now, G&G has been around for a long time. They make a lot of sport line guns, and they make a lot of pro line guns. I used to really like them about 5 years ago, but here recently they're making a lot of guns that I just have no interest in. A lot of just weird looking guns that they don't interest me. I really like guns that based off of real firearms, honestly, guns that I just personally think look cool, and I don't think a lot of G&G guns look cool. In addition to this, their internals are pretty subpar. If you're going to be upgrading this gun, you're going to have to be replacing a lot of things, and at that point, you're going to run into a lot of specification issues. Now, for example, the G&G gearbox shell is pretty soft. If you're doing something stressful like a DSG or even a high-speed, high-powered SSG, you're going to run into limitations with the gearbox shell. And then when you go to replace the gearbox shell, let's say with a Lonex V2 or even a Retro Arms V2, you're going to have a lot of problems just getting the gearbox into the lower receiver because they're going to have a lot of specification issues. So personally, I feel like G&G doesn't really earn its way into this top 3 category just because of those reasons. Now they do make a couple of really cool guns, like the FN2000. That gun is pretty darn cool. A couple others that my mind cannot think of right now, but I know that they make a couple of really cool guns that I've really liked to use in the past and really liked to work on in the past. The FNC is the one that I was thinking of. They did a really good job working on that gun. But I just feel like by and large the manufacturer just cannot compete with VFC, GMP, or LCT. All right, guys, there you have it. My top 3 top-tier airsoft gun manufacturers for upgrading. Again, this is an opinionated list based on my experience. So if you disagree, please say so down below. I want to know what you think. And thank you guys very much for watching. If you don't mind, please subscribe to this YouTube channel for more Airsoft Tech themed content. Like this video, it certainly helps me out in the long run. And like I said, comment down below and share your opinions. But that's gonna have to do it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next video of whatever the heck I'm doing. But until then, stay tuned, techs.